So on the Enemy at the Door tour in this part of St Martin's, you'll have seen over my shoulder Petit Port Bay, where the Commando raid took place in July 1940. Also a view of the classic Dog and Lion rocks. There was a coastal resistance point there, and where I am at this very moment, I'm stood right next to an element of the German fortifications that is relatively unique, and all this will be revealed on the tour. So as we progress along the coastal path, the cliff paths for Enemy at the Door Part 1, we're above Saints Bay. We've just come away from the strong point at Icar. We're above the position at Saints Bay, Hellingbock Bay. We've got Petit Port just over here where the commandos landed in July 1940. We also see the Dog and Lion Rock where there was a coastal resistance net above those rocks just over there. And of course we have Saints Bay that was heavily defended both into German occupation, but also we have the pre-Napoleonic tower that's undergoing renovation as we speak, and that tower will be accessible to us on this tour. A pretty unique opportunity to see it before it's open to the public at large. Well, why Enemy at the Door and why St Martin's? My father's family lived in the parish during the Second World War under German occupation. My grandfather was away fighting in the Royal Navy. So my grandmother brought my father and my aunt and two elderly relatives up in a house that features in part 2 of our tour. The tour is split into 2 parts, part 1 and 2. Part 1 starts at Icar car park with the strong point, drops down into Saints Bay. We progress through the parish, we take in the pre-Napoleonic Martel Tower, which I've alluded to in another clip. But I also give the background to the tour, how my family feature within the structure of the occupation, the tales and some of the privations that they suffered during that time. The parish of St Martin's is particularly beautiful. We go through a number of the areas where the Germans would have had fixed positions and where they would have had mobile positions. And in order to give a flavour of how they set themselves up, the tour folder contains pictures of the armaments that they would have used to fortify the area, both in terms of fixed fortifications, as I say, and also where they would have set up areas where they would have moved in the event of an Allied landing. We also take in the natural beauty of the parish. Now the second part is, if Dennis wants to swing his camera around, will take place on the Cherbourg Peninsula, just around here, over Petit Port Bay, where the commandos came ashore, and then we take in the Strasbourg battery, and then we move back through the area of St Martin's, which is eastern St Martin's, and of course that is mentioned, the Cherbourg area is mentioned in the Potato Pie book, so we can take in elements of the book there. The tours will take about 2.5 to 3 hours. They are rambles in which, to say, we will be going over some green lanes which can be a bit boggy, and some cliff paths which are, in themselves can be a little bit slippery underfoot, so wear good footwear. I think you'll learn a lot about the occupation. I think you'll really enjoy the scenery of this beautiful parish, and I hope to see you on this tour in due course.